Alrighty, this is my unboxing and overview of the Fifine M9 wireless mic kit. This isn't a sponsored video, but Fifine was gracious enough to send this out to me for free to record the video and keep the product, so special thank you to Fifine for that. I'm recording directly into Premiere Pro with the M9 mic, and the rest of the video is recorded with the mic as well, so you can get a sense of how it sounds. As we just saw, everything came neatly packed in that carrying case, and the case that houses the receiver and the mics is a pretty good build quality for it being plastic. The mics and the receiver have the same grooved line texture, which is great for having a nice grip and adds a nice visual appeal to it as well. The mics and the receiver have a clip on the back, so you can clip that onto clothing, or a pencil, as people like to do nowadays, or anything random. You have free will. Clip it onto whatever you want. Here we've got the dead cats for the mics, and got a USB-A to USB-C cable, and all of the audio cables to plug in your receiver to your camera, even your phone. And now I'm going to get the dead cats on the mics. There is a specific way that they line up to click in, so it does take a little bit if you don't have them properly aligned, but they snap right in. And they're just little guys with that smiley face. Overall, these are pretty sleek looking, so I think they're going to have a pretty good on-screen presence. And something to be improved upon with the next iteration is I wish the case closed with the dead cats on so we didn't have to take them on and off every single time. They're a bit finicky to put on, and if you're taking them off all the time, you might lose them. But otherwise, I think the case works perfectly well. And here I'm showing how I set up the receiver on the camera. So I'm pointing out the audio in. There's the receiver, and with the clip, we slip that into the hot shoe mount and then let it clamp down. It sits in there pretty tight, which is nice. And then we take the cable provided and put it into the audio in on the camera, plug the other end into the receiver, and luckily there's not a lot of bounce on the cable, so it shouldn't make any noise. Okay, we are recording. I just did a test to see if I had the mic working properly. I had the second one set up properly, not this one. So the audio wasn't coming through after I put the second one away. So now I got this one properly linked up. The light is blue. If it's red, that means it is not connected. But this is very strange. I'm so used to being close enough to the camera with having the shotgun mic on top and needing to be in close proximity to it. So now sitting further away from it, it's an interesting feeling. And now I'm pretty sure I'm recording audio properly. And I got the window open, so I'm not sure how much noise is going to come through here. So actually, I'm going to try the noise cancellation mode. Oh, maybe that just switched on the noise cancellation? Because now there's a little light on the side. I didn't see that before. Okay, maybe this is the noise cancellation. And now I clicked it again, the light is off. My computer just turned off. So, well, yeah, I'm going to go check footage. Alright, I've gone and listened to the first bit of footage I recorded with this mic, and now it's time for us to go and talk about it. I already feel weird being this far away from the camera, and I'm currently sitting on the floor, so we're going to go even further back and sit in a chair in the next room. And just like that, we're even further away from the camera. It feels so weird, like you're all the way over there. If I had a wider angle lens, you'd definitely see, but I wanted the shot with my 50mm. That's how I shot the beginning of the video, and I wanted to keep it with the same lens, so ta-da, there we go. But it feels like, to me, in my head, that you shouldn't be able to hear me because I'm so far away from the camera. But having a wireless mic, now I have that freedom to move around, which is awesome. So what did I think of the initial audio quality? I think for the price, these mics sound really good. Being able to move around and getting that freedom of motion with a wireless mic is awesome, so it's a really good entry-level price point to enable that for your content creation. But something I will note about the audio, this is its sound without any editing or post-processing at all. This is just the way that the mic sounds, and I think it sounds like it already has its own EQ tuned. I feel like I want a bit more of a flatter profile so that I can then edit the EQ the way I want. So I will do a little test to edit some sections to then add my own EQ to balance it out and see how I would like to make it sound. But essentially, if you're just plugging this in and going, it sounds great. You really don't need to do much with it. But if you want that more fine-tuned control, I'm not sure yet just how much we can manipulate the sound with it already having that EQ applied. And then as for the noise cancellation, I gotta say, I am not a fan of it. Even just that little clip that I tried, it sounded more like I'm in outer space or in a giant tin can. And the way it degrades the audio you're recording, even if it does manage to cut out enough of the background noise, your voice is so altered that it just doesn't make sense. I just clicked it on and now I feel like I'm in some sort of warped space. It's not great. So what I would say is, instead of using this noise cancellation, I would record without it and then do any sort of noise removal in post. Okay, there we go, we're back. Okay, up to this point, I have not edited the audio from the mic at all. Maybe a little bit of gain adjustment just for the audio level of the video, but I have not done any EQ or balancing or noise removal up to this point. I've only just been talking into the mic and then clicking the noise cancellation. Now, for the rest of the video, I'm going to add my own EQ and noise removal in post, and we'll see how that sounds moving forward. So talking about the wireless mics, one of the benefits is being able to go far, far away from the camera. I am now on the other side of my apartment in my bedroom with the camera all the way on the other side of the living room, and you can still hear me, which is pretty cool. You can go like much further, I'm pretty sure. I'll put the distance up for still a good connection on the screen, but I have no reason to test that because I don't need to be that far away from my camera, and I also wouldn't trust being that far away from my camera without having somebody supervise it, so nah, that ain't happening. But I will also take this as a moment to talk about a feature that I won't say is missing with it being a budget mic, but it is a feature that might be a deal breaker if you're looking for it. Okay. And that is that there's no audio jack on the wireless mics themselves. So the only audio you can record is from the mic itself. You can't plug in an external lav and get wired up with that. So if you have another kind of mic that you want to plug in and send that signal to the receiver, you can't do it. Now, for a lot of people, that's not an issue at all because you're going to be doing just as I'm doing now. You're going to be holding the mic in your hand or clipping it to your clothing, and you won't need to plug in an extra lav mic or anything to it. But if you are looking to do something like that where you're not necessarily seeing the mic, that's not really something you can do. But for it being a budget mic, that's not really what you're looking for in this price range. But figured I'd mention it because it might be a deal breaker if that is something you're looking for. But you will have to spend more money to get that feature. All right, well, there we have it. This is the Fifine M9 wireless mic kit. I'd say this has been an interesting experience recording with this because I've never used this kind of mic before. So even having this hooked up here, just sitting here talking, I still feel like I'm too far away from the camera for it to be picking up the audio. So this is a bit of an adjustment just mindset wise to use, but in practice, it is really cool. And having that freedom to move around, like I've said, it's a game changer. Now I am in a room with the window open, so I'm curious how much noise is coming in. And this is a section that I will have noise cancellation applied in post, so we will see what that sounds like. But this is no formal review or anything, just going through the motions, seeing what it sounds like, how it operates. Yeah, I think if you're looking to get into content creation and you're looking for a mic like this and you don't want to spend too much money, it sounds great for what it is. And like I was saying before, with that sort of EQ twist on it already, you don't have to do much with it. But then if you want to play around with it afterwards, then sure, you can. And another feature I do like, actually, I'll mention this, is when you take the receiver and the mics out of the case, they automatically turn on once you have everything paired, which is really nice because a big issue that you might run into is forgetting to turn on the units. So you could sit there, record a whole thing, and not remember to turn on the mics. So having them turn on automatically when you take them out is a good feature to be aware of, and make sure you check your footage that you are actually recording audio. But yeah, for the price, good audio quality, not a ton of features, but you don't really need that. You just need to be able to record audio, and it does exactly that well. So I'd say if you're just getting started with content creation and you don't want to put too much money forward, but you still want something good, the M9 is a pretty good option. So hopefully this video has been helpful for you to listen and gauge if this is the right mic for you. But thank you again to Fifine for sending this out and letting me try it out and keep it. And yeah, I will see you guys in another episode.